Today is the Marine Corps birthday. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. A lot of people have been asking for me to make videos about my time in the Marines. It's been a highly requested thing, and I figured, you know what? Today, I'm putting on my, what is this called? It's a blouse. That's what we call these things in the Marines, a blouse. Anyways, what we're going to do today is look at a bunch of pictures from when I was in. We're going to start from like training to when I got to my unit, going on the 13th MEU, sailing all these different countries, going to Kuwait, going to Iraq, and then some pictures of my time after my time in Iraq. So yeah, let's get started. We're starting the story off when I was in artillery school because I don't have that many pictures of when I was in MCT or boot camp, and who cares about any of that? Everything really started when I was in artillery school. Now, I don't remember exactly who these guys are, but I do remember their faces and being really good friends with them at the time. But after artillery school, we all go our own way to our different units and stuff. This is an M19R8. We're towing it. This is a 155 millimeter artillery cannon howitzer, and during my time we were training with this and the M777 howitzer because we were like transitioning, so we had to train and learn how to use both. And here's a picture of me inside of one of the trucks when we're towing these things. I really don't have that many pictures from this era, so we're just gonna move on. Here's a picture of one of the Harrier jets on our ship. This is a picture of me on a train in Australia. Here's me sipping tea. This is where the finger thing started. You see me do this on my videos. It all started right here in Australia because I wanted to be a fancy pants man. Here is me in my, I don't know why I'm wearing these underwears, but I thought they were cool. And I'm lighting Axe on fire, pretending to light my friend on fire. Here's me with my fly down. I don't know if you noticed this, but I was like, hey, look, I'm at the beach. That's as close to the water I got in Australia. I didn't really do any of that. Here's me getting really drunk on the last night in Australia. I was just drinking straight from the pitcher instead. Here's one of the ships. I don't remember which one this was, but it's part of our fleet and our MEU. I was in the 13th MEU. Here's a picture. This one's pretty funny. This is Casanova. So on our way to Kuwait, which we were gone on our ships, we're sailing to Kuwait. We did a bunch of training, and one of the training we did was OC spray training, and I couldn't find a picture of me, but I was making a similar face, having a hard time. This stuff is gnarly, so you have to get sprayed in the face, and then you have to go through like this obstacle course and fight off all these guys doing all these moves they taught you, and then you're certified to use OC spray, because our unit was designated as the non-lethal unit, so if we ever needed to do some like riot control stuff, we got training for that. And some of the weapons that we would use would be OC spray. So in order to use it, you have to know what it feels like. Because when you spray that stuff, it's going to get on you and you need to be able to operate. That stuff sucked. And here is some Marines screwing around. We're doing some grappling, so it's just like, it's kind of like, it's not like MMA or anything, but it is wrestling. You get on the ground and you have to tap out the other guy. And this is Sergeant Santiago. This is Corporal Ford. I think that's Mankey. I can't remember this guy's name, but he was Motor T. And I know down on the ground, because I remember this, one of the guys is Orth, and he just beat everybody at wrestling, but he was like the nicest person ever. Even though he was a corporal, he was supposed to be a dick to everyone, he didn't have it in him, and he actually got in trouble for being too nice. Here's some more Harrier jets. I was on the Bonhomme Richard, which is an LHD. It's like a mini aircraft carrier. It only has helicopters and jets that take off vertically. So like a little bit shorter than an aircraft carrier, but really big. And actually, if you look it up, the Bonhomme Richard burned down in San Diego. Some sort of, accident happened. Here's some Tiger beer when I was in Singapore. I was 19 at the time, and I was really like excited that I got to drink beer because, I'm 19, I'm underage, but not in Singapore and not in Australia. Oh, here's the LHD-6 right here. This is one of the few pictures I have of it. I think this is Singapore. Here's some crazy dude I just saw. He was being wacky when we were driving around in a taxi. Here's a shrine that I saw. I don't really know what it's about, but I thought it was really interesting. Here's another one of the ships. Sometimes they for whatever reason, we have to get close and transfer supplies or whatever we're doing. Here's a picture of me in Singapore with a couple of my friends. This is Searles and Mowry, Frank Mowry, Andrew Searles, and then here's me. We just found these masks in bottom. Is funny. And here's one of the ships. It's just cool. I don't know what they're doing exactly, half the time. It's such a big operation. You don't know everything that's going on, so it's just amazing to see stuff like this, the open seas, man. So on a MEU, we hit a bunch of countries, we have a lot of fun, and then we enter operations. So we landed in Kuwait where we unloaded all of our equipment and stuff from the ships using these hovercrafts. I wish I had a picture of these things. They're so cool. And here's what our hooches, that's what we call them, looked like. And these were really nice. They were like air conditioned and had power and lights and everything. These were really nice. This is not what we were going to end up in when we were in Iraq. So we were just like getting all of our equipment ready to go to Iraq from Kuwait. Here's a picture. I'm pretty sure this is Kuwait, just looking at the top, that looks like a hooch. And then we also did some training just to get ready. So we're like to work up and prepare for what we're going to be doing in Iraq. And I'm artillery. This is an M777 howitzer. Really cool shot. Now, at one point, for some reason, I thought this was me, but it's actually not. This is Floos, and he's, looking through the scope here, trying to make sure that everything's lined up. And I think this is the section chief. I can't remember, but really cool shot. One of the best artillery pictures I have. And then here's us getting in a C-130 heading to Iraq. So we actually flew to Iraq, and then a bunch of our stuff got convoyed over to Iraq. And luckily, none of our stuff got hit by IEDs and so I was kind of worried about that. And then here's me, I gotta do dick stuff with my, with my gun. So here we go. M16 with everything on it. This is like Modern Warfare 2 attachments. From Kuwait, we entered Iraq, where we did a lot of patrolling. And I think I did over 80 missions, something like that. I can't remember, dude. It's so long ago. This is 2007. Anyways, this is one of our vehicles that got hit by an IED. Nobody got hurt or anything like that. These vehicles are very much armored, and everyone was okay in this one. Here's some of these guys. I'm not sure if this might be me right here, but I don't remember taking this picture, but this is something goofy that I would do. This is like considered cringe amongst Marines. We look at this and laugh at you if you take these kinds of pictures. Here's a selfie. I'm glad I took a lot of selfies. So this is me. We brought 6 777s with us, but we only had one operating, and then everyone else just did missions. And then they would like cycle who was on the gun. So I was on this gun for a couple of weeks, and actually it kind of sucked. I'd rather just do the missions, because it was really boring. You just sit there and do nothing. Here's a POV of what it looks like to be in a convoy. So in my time when I was in Iraq, I was a PFC. That's the second rank in the Marines, and it was my first deployment. We're called boots, okay? So usually they take the boots and they make us be the gunners, which is a dangerous position to be in, but also it's not as fun because like when we go somewhere to do like a mission, you're supposed to just stay in the turret the entire time while they go out and like go search houses or do whatever they're doing with whatever the mission is. Okay, here we go. Here's one of those cringe shots right here, right? This is the kind of stuff all you vets in the comments are gonna make fun of me for these, but I'm glad I took the picture. It looks dope, man. Look, I have my iron sights underneath my weapon. Like I just had all of my attachments on this thing because it was one way to kind of keep track of everything so you don't lose it. But also I just thought it was cool to have everything on there. Now, this is an interesting time, okay? So we were in Cop Golden, and when we got here, our gunnery sergeant Alston, I remember his PlayStation name is Allstud. This guy's a huge asshole. I hate this guy. I actually hate him with the passion. And there's some reasons why. I'm not going to get into it, but there was an accidental death, and it's his fault 100% because he was making us do stupid stuff that led to it. Not going to get into that story. After that happened and we were in Iraq, he had lost his night vision goggles. And that's a big no-no. You cannot lose equipment. Like you go to you get in big trouble for that. And he blamed the unit. He said that one of us stole it from him. And so the entire unit had to dump all their gear, and we got searched and they were looking for his night vision goggles. Never found. He lost them because he's an idiot. Here's a close-up of an AT-4 instructions. Funny story. I'm deaf in my right ear because somebody negligent discharged one of these, and there's like 5 safeties on this thing before you can even fire it, and it's kind of a funny story I'm not going to get into, but here's a close-up of the instructions. This is an interesting picture. This is how we discard of our dookies. All right, we have these. I have a picture coming up showing what those look like. I have a bunch of my friends. I took a picture of them shitting. But yeah, so we pour diesel fuel in here and you just burn all the turds. And it's actually like the most laid back chore because you're always working. Like if you're not on a mission, they're having you do this or go dig or fill sandbags or, whatever. Like there's just so much busy work that needs to get done on the base. So you're always doing something. This is chill because you light it on fire and then you just lay down and chill in the shade, man. It's pretty chill. So I actually liked burning poop because they left you alone. Nobody's going to come over where the poop's burning and bother you. Here's, I don't know. I'm not in this picture. This is a bunch of the Motor T guys. I love these guys. Motor T guys are great. These are all the drivers. These are all the guys that would drive our trucks for us. So in an artillery unit, we have guns platoon, which is all the guys that operate the howitzers. And then there's another half called headquarters platoon. And those are all the guys that are doing things like driving trucks, or there's chow, or there's communications, there's ammo dudes. There's all these different things that you would need to have an artillery battery. And you become good friends with all these people. My favorite guy in this group is definitely Murray. Murray, if you see this video, he probably won't. But hey, I'm a YouTuber now, by the way. Murray, I still miss you, dude. You're one of the funniest guys I've ever met. I think we saw this picture already. We're skipping it. Here's another close-up of it. This is some gnarly explosions. This is an IED. They're, like buried in the ground or whatever. And they'll get you if you're not paying attention. Luckily, nobody got hurt from this one. Here's Bruckbauer. These are two Motor T dudes. Bruckbauer, I don't know. I think he stole this. And I don't condone that. At the time, I thought it was funny. I look back at it. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of wrong. I think he like stole this from somebody's house that we searched or something. Here's Casanova. Remember Casanova? Well, here he is. You know, he's manning a 50 cal. Here's how we have our shade. This is a lifesaver when you're on these convoys, man. Here's a tank. We weren't tanks, but you know, we were just driving around and we saw some tank dudes driving by. I was like, hey, I'm getting a picture of that. Here's how you poop when you're out there. You know, you just take a couple cinder blocks together and just drop a deuce, man. I think that's Holden. I'm pretty sure that's Holden. Also a Motor T guy. I don't know what's up with this picture, but here's one of our vehicles. And here's another one that got hit. This is a separate occurrence. Everyone was okay with this one as well. Any of the pictures I show you of vehicles having damage like this, everyone was okay from those. We did lose one Marine from getting hit by an ID on foot. And I'm not even gonna get into that story. But these pictures, just know like nobody was actually like seriously injured from these. I think they got like a couple bumps and bruises from some rocks or whatever. Here's a picture of me trying to look cool. What's funny about this is that you don't even like use these during the day. This is for nighttime, but I have it on the gun just because it looks cool. And I'm like smoking a cigarette, trying to get my cool shot, you know, behind that's a M40 Bravo, I think. Or no, that's a Golf because it's mounted. I can't remember. It's been so long. But anyways, also, I don't have my helmet on. I'm like breaking the rules here. I don't have my gloves on. You get in trouble if you're not wearing your gloves. You got to wear all your PPE, right? And actually, fun fact, if you get hurt and you're not wearing the proper PPE, you can actually get in trouble for that. Like, or if you get hurt, you won't get paid. You know, you won't get your like whatever payment. That's what they say anyways. Here's another image of one of this M240 Golf, I think it is, because it's mounted. A Bravo is one that you hold. Here's us being really bored. So in these pictures, I'm doing what's called standing post. We stand in these wooden boxes with this crazy glass that's like sniper proof for 8 hours at a time. You do 8-hour intervals in these things. It is gnarly. You're not allowed to sit or whatever, and you start getting super bored. So we started taking ammo and like lighting it on fire, like, you know, taking the ammo and like pouring out all the gunpowder. This spells out butthole. We actually lit it on fire. So there's like a burned butthole on the table. Yeah, I don't know. You get bored, bro. Here's another one of these shots. You know, I thought that looked cool, like a silhouetted gun. Here's a memorial for Sergeant Bunnell, who we lost from an IED. Very emotional picture. This is Orth, the guy I was telling you about earlier that's really good at wrestling. This is Mickey. He actually got injured during that IED where we lost Bunnell, and he was gone for a couple weeks. And then he like healed up and he came back and they made him a convoy commander. He's a, you know, go-getter kind of Marine. He's like getting his ranks and respect really quickly of the higher ups and stuff. Here's Bruckbauer. He's so funny. I forgot his name. This is Corporal Provello, or he has like a Russian last name. He was one of my corporals. He was in charge of me. Here's DeHaven. I can't tell who that is. I don't know who that is, but yeah, this was Mankey like being a convoy commander, giving us details of what our mission is. We always like go over, okay, here's what our mission is before we punch out and do convoys and stuff. Here's another shot of that. Let's see here. There's oh my God, dude. I know I see you post on Facebook all the time. I'm just drawing a blank right now. But there's all these people in here. It's great to see these pictures. Here's another one of these. This is, I think that's a saw. It could be a M240. Here's Bruckbauer again. See, me and him were PFCs at the time, so we were actually became really good friends. It was our first deployment, and we spent some time on post and doing all different types of stuff. Such a funny guy. I'm not sure which incident this was, but yeah, here's what a crater would look like. So like those damaged vehicles, like that. This is what the ground looks like, right? It's kind of gnarly. Oh, here's what the call centers looked like. I'm not sure if this is Kuwait or Iraq. I'm pretty sure this is Kuwait, so it might be in the wrong folder, but here's all these people just calling home. You know, it's an interesting shot right there. Oh, here's a Staff Sergeant. Fuck, dude, I'm drawing a blank. I actually really had a lot of respect for him. One of the reasons why I had a lot of respect for him, because he wasn't afraid to like get in a fight with like lower Marines or whatever. And not like necessarily in a mean way, but just to kind of set things straight. So this was him battling Orth 1, of course. And then they have lifelong respect for each other. I'm me. I'm who I am now. But back then we were way more aggressive and manly, man, you know what I mean? But great picture of Staff Sergeant. I think this is the last day in Iraq. This was like us like having a big meeting and we're about to head out. And notice our uniforms aren't like what I'm wearing right here. They gave us these tanker suits, so we didn't have any identifying information on our uniforms. It's just something they had us do. And these were really comfortable. I loved them. I loved these things. It's like just these onesies you put on. It's so comfy. Here's a picture of when we first got to Iraq and we were heading to Cop Golden, which is where our operations was. And I remember seeing one of these vehicles on the side of the road just on fire and all burnt up. And I'm like, okay, I'm here. I am now in Iraq. Shit's going to go down. Here's somebody's ass crack. You know, I thought that would be interesting. Judging by the underwear, I can't remember who it was. Here's what it looks like on post. So you go on post and then you set your rifles down in the corner and you just stand there for 8 hours. Here's an AT-4. It could be the one that made me deaf. I don't know. Oh man, here is a care package I got from my dad. I wish you could see the outside of the box, but this is a box that my dad used to send products to customers. He owned a company called Samson Exhaust, which I ended up taking over years later. And so he sent me a Samson box full of goodies, like a bunch of them. And I ended up giving them all away to everybody because I was like, dude, my dad just sent me so much stuff. There was another one that was full of just socks and baby wipes. I was like, I want socks, baby wipes, beef jerky, and whatever else. And he just hooked it up. Here's this dog that we found randomly. It's just a stray dog in the middle of the desert. And it hung out with us on base. And we named it Goldie. Everyone just called this dog Goldie. And it was the craziest thing, dude. Like, this dog would show up. It knew when it was time for me and Purdy here to go on post, to do our post duty for 8 hours, right? And the dog would come hang out with us before it's time to go and walk with us all the way to when we went to our post. And would even hang out at the post for a little bit and then go F off and go hang out with someone else. But it was every day on like a schedule. Like, it was the craziest thing. It's just this dog did it on its own. And fun story, the dog wasn't left behind. Actually, one of the really higher ups got permission to take the dog back home, which is super sick. So it actually came to America and had, I hope a good life. I'm pretty sure a good life. Somebody went through all the trouble to bring it back. They're going to treat it right. So Goldie had a good rest of his or her life. I can't remember. It's only so long. Here's some confiscated money from, doing like patrols, and you like pull over, we do like vehicle checkpoints and stuff. And if you find somebody with a ton of money and a bunch of phones and stuff, that's shady, right? That's pretty shady. So we confiscate that stuff and probably arrest the guy and bring him back to whoever does the stuff back at base. Here's another selfie of me. This is my wife's POV. And just kidding, I'm not even gonna go there. Next picture. Okay, so here's our living arrangements when we're in Iraq, right? It's really close. It's so hot. It's over 100 degrees basically at all times. Like maybe at night it might drop down into like the high 90s or something. But we were in Iraq during the summer, and this is our living situation. We lived on these cots. We had power. We did have these ACs, but they did not work very well unless you were one person like right in front of it. Otherwise, it didn't do anything. I remember trying to, when I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna pick my spot, and I picked the one right in front of the AC. And then somebody that has been on a deployment before, I think it was Murray, he took my whole pack and threw it on another one. He's like, nope. And then he looked at me and he's like, what are you going to do about it? And I'm like, nothing. You can have it. So I remember that very vividly. Here's some more burning of poop. That's how you do it. You just get a big stick and you kind of stir it up. Here's some pictures of some kids in a village. Oh, this picture, man, we have such a low res. So this is the first shot of an M777 in Iraq. So our unit was the first unit to fire these in Iraq. So it's pretty cool. M777 right there. Nighttime shot. Here's a picture of what it looks like to be, on the gun. So these usually have like 10, 12 people that man this. Everyone has different jobs. We have an ammo pit, and we only ever really shot at night because we shot aluminum rounds. We had all of this HE at the ready if we needed to use it, but we never used any of this. We just shot big aluminum rounds that will light up the night sky for 2 minutes. It makes it look like it's freaking daytime. It's crazy. But that's all we really shot. Anybody that was in the military will recognize Rippets. All right, so I'm glad I got a picture of a Rippet. Look at these little tiny ones that we had. We had basically unlimited of these Rippets, and this was great. This was a nice little treat, especially if you can get one cold. That was amazing, but usually it was warm. Here's some of the Iraqi army vehicles. So we did a lot of work training these guys. Like here's how you patrol the area and do these different tasks and stuff. So we worked with those guys. We even built them up these nice like little barracks and stuff like that while we lived in the crappy hooches. Here is what it looks like in the bathroom. So there's these bathrooms are all built out of wood, and here is Fernando Leon. This is Sergeant Silva. He was also injured in Iraq. He was with Sergeant Bonnell and Menke on foot when the IED went off, and he actually lost his eyesight. Mendyka in the back. That's Mendyka. These guys, very smart artillery guys. Everyone kind of made fun of Leon because he's a little slow, but he's a very nice person, great heart. And everyone's here pooping in darkness. There's only light from the camera flash. That's why all their eyes are like, ugh, because they're just, the only thing you see is lit cigarettes. And it's like, so you're just doing this in darkness. Oh, here another shot of, the great search for the MVGs. All right, so I I've always been a gamer. I made sure that I was gonna be able to play games in Iraq. So during my downtime, I had a PS2 and a little DVD player, and this is how I entertained myself. I actually brought a bunch of my games with me and played PS2. All right. Now I know you're looking at the baby wipes and you're thinking, okay, what were you doing with those? I was doing what you think I was doing, but in this, like, you know, lifestyle, baby wipes is the only way you can really clean yourself sometimes. There's no showers. We did get some at one point, like towards the end, they built some that we could use, and that was really nice. But up until then, the only way to clean yourself was with baby wipes, so I just used the crap out of those. Oh, and also, combat spoon. Everyone knows combat spoon, all right? There's no, maybe there is an MRE here. Yeah, I was eating, playing some games, cleaning myself up. Combat spoon. Here's another silhouette of some vehicles and stuff being staged. Sunset. During one of our patrols, we ended up finding this like crazy oasis with all these palm trees, and that was just really crazy. Also, all of our vehicles have this barbed wire on the front, so we could like, you know, pull those off and like open it up and create blockades in the roads and stuff so people can't pass. You could just mobile blockades. Pretty cool. Here's some more people. I don't really know what the situation is here, but you know, we're just going around searching and talking to people or whatever. All different kinds of missions. Picture of me when I was on the gun. So this is, you know, I was there for about 2 weeks and I just got a picture of me just hanging out under the shade here. Very boring. This looks like a picture of me on post. No, where is this? I can't really tell exactly where that would be. And I think we've come to the end of our Iraq pictures, but I've got more. I got more pictures for us to go over if you guys are interested. So here I have some pictures post-deployment. This is me and Feigly. We're having some fun doing some like ghost face paint because we're playing Modern Warfare 2, and we got in trouble and they made us wash it off. But at least we got a picture of it first, right? Here is a picture. Here's me. This is John Lind. That's Chris Hogue. Here's Sergeant Silva. This is post-injury, so he's blind now. And he actually is so good at artillery, he became a teacher. Basically, you have to go through a school to become a chief to be in control of an artillery gun. So there's one guy that's in charge, and if we miss our shot and it's not accurate, you literally go to like military prison. It's a very serious job, and you have to go to artillery chief school to become a chief. And he was so good at artillery that he became one of their top teachers in chief school. So he taught chiefs blind. He could do it from memory and tell you everything there is to know about artillery. And he was my chief. So I was lucky to have him as a chief. Here is DeHaven, John DeHaven. Here's Andrew Feigly. He was the youngest Marine on the way back from Iraq when we went back onto the ships and stuff. We had the Marine Corps birthday, which is today, the day I'm recording this video. It might come out tomorrow. Feigly was 17. He was 17 years old when he joined the Marines. So a tradition in the Marine Corps is to have the oldest Marine and the youngest Marine cut the cake, right? So he got to cut the cake. I remember that. But yeah, he was like probably in this picture, I think he's like 19 or 20. You know, this is a couple years after our deployment. Here's a picture of me in the barracks. So life after Iraq in the barracks was so fun. We partied like so much. I spent basically all of my money on alcohol and I don't regret it. It was fun, dude. It was like college, but with guns. It was so fun. So I learned how to play the guitar, and I have some funny pictures of everyone partying, playing Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero was really popular at the time, and we would all just get so wasted and play Guitar Hero. Here's a picture of me and Brittany. We're married now, but this is when we first got together, and we actually did this like face paint stuff, and we went to Not Scary Farm, and this is one of our first dates. There's that. And then here is me passed out drunk in the barracks with a can of SpaghettiOs in my hand. It looks like I barely even got to them. You know, barracks life was pretty crazy, man. I have so many more pictures I'd love to share with you guys. I got a lot of pictures I would never be able to share with you guys, but this is a highly requested video, so I figured, you know what? The time is now. It's the Marine Corps birthday. Tomorrow's Veterans Day, and you know, let's just make this video so I could finally just get this one out of the way. I'm not trying to be a big veteran YouTuber. Being a veteran is not my identity. It's just some extra flavor. I'm a lot of personality. There's a lot of things I've done in my life, even after the Marines, before I became a YouTuber. And I just wanted to share a little piece of me, a little part of my life. I was in the Marines for 4 years, from 18 to 22 years old, 2006 to 2010. And I'm 34 years old now. I've done a lot of stuff since then. And I am proud of my time in the Marines, but I'm also proud of all the bigger things I did even after the Marines. And I consider everything I've accomplished on this channel to be one of those things that's bigger. I just keep going. But yeah, being in the Marines, like people are like, oh, I still get the, thank you for your service and thank you for paying taxes. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm kind of rambling at the end of this video. If you made it this far, let me know down in the comments that you made it to the very end of the video. I will heart your comment. I'll probably heart everyone's comment, but I'll leave a comment. I'll reply to anyone who says, hey, I made it to the very end of the video because thank you for doing that. And yeah, I'm going to get out of here. See you guys.